Hi, girls. I hope you had a great weekend. Today is Monday, April 20th, and we are up to lesson 37. When you go online, the name of the lesson is called Multiply Mix. Our I can statement, I can find the product of a whole number and a mixed number using the distributive property. Now, at the end of last week, we were multiplying a whole number and a fraction. So now we're going to multiply a whole number with a mixed number. So if you look at my board, I drew a tape diagram representing 3 and 1/5. This is representing my 3 wholes, and this is representing my little extra part of the 1/5. But let's say I have 2 times 3 and 1/5. Or 2 copies of the 3 and 1/5. So I'm going to make another tape diagram so that I have 2 3 and 1/5. So if you look at my tape diagram, I have 2 3s and I have 2 1/5s. So I'm going to use the distributive property, which means I'm going to distribute the 2 because I need 2 of the 3s. And I'm going to distribute the 2 to the 1/5 because I have 2 of the 1/5s as well. Now you can easily see in the picture I have 3 and 3. Well, 3 and 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus I have 2 1/5s. 2 times 1/5 is 2/5. And we also learned in a previous lesson. So here is going back to what we learned in lessons 36 and 35. Here goes back farther. 6 and 2/5 is, or 6 plus 2/5 is just equal to 6 and 2/5. Let's try another one of those. So now I'm going to try the example 3 times 4 and 1/4. That means I have 3 of the 4 and 1/4. So if I were going to make a tape diagram, I start with 4 and 1/4. However, I need 3 of them. So you can clearly see that I have 3 of the 4s and I have 3 of the 1/4. So now in my work, I'm going to show the distributive property. I'm multiplying the 3 times the 4, and I'm multiplying the 3 times the 1/4. I like to draw an arrow just to make sure that I'm multiplying the right numbers. So I like to draw the arrow from the whole number to the mixed number. One arrow to the whole part, one arrow to the fraction part. Now I can finish my work. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 times 1/4 is 3/4. 12 plus 3/4 is 12 and 3/4. Let's try a few more examples before we end for today. All right, so we have 3 examples here. My first example, 2 times 4 1/3. I'm going to draw my arrows because I have to do 2 times the 4, but I also have to do 2 times the 1/3. 2 times the 4 plus 2 times the 1/3. Now, I'm kind of to the easy part. Making sure I have the correct multiplication is probably the trickiest part. So now I can multiply my 2 times 4, which is 8, plus my 2 times 1/3 is 2/3, and 8 plus 2/3 is 8 and 2/3. Next example, 1 2/5 times 3. Now, the problem is flipped, but that's okay. I'm still going to distribute my whole part. 3 times the 1 and 3 times the 2/5. 3 times the 1 and 3 times the 2/5. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 3 times 2 is 6/5. Well, I know that I can pull a whole out of that 6/5 because I know that 5 of those fifths makes a whole. So I end up with 3 plus 1 1/5. And my final answer is 4 1/5. We're going to try one more like that. So my next example, I have 2 times 3 3/4. I have to multiply the 2 times the 3. I have to multiply the 2 times the 3/4. The 2 times the 3 plus the 2 times the 3/4. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 times 3/4 is 6/4. Well, again, I have an improper fraction. I know that 4 of those fourths is 1 whole. So I actually have 6 plus 1 and an extra 2/4. And that gives me a final answer of 7 2/4. Make sure that you're writing down the notes and doing the examples as I do. As you're watching the video, you can always pause it because that'll just help you as you go through the Tower of Power and your problem set. So have a great day, and I can't wait to get all your work. Bye.